Hey guys, how's it going? Elliot here again. In today's video, we're going to be checking out the Easy Flash 4. Now, I've been meaning to make a video on this for a good year or so. I ordered this with the intention to make a video on it. It's pretty damn cool, but I was basically buying it just to make a video on it. Although I haven't really used it very much since then. We'll get into the reasons why. I'm going to give you the pros and cons afterwards. I'm just going to quickly run through how it works. So basically, this is a flash cart. It looks very, very similar to a regular cartridge from Nintendo. Same size and dimensions and whatnot. There's very, very little difference. It's not kind of trying to advertise itself as a Nintendo cartridge like a lot of fake cartridges do. You'll notice there's a little slot here. We'll get into that in just a second. But other than that, it looks very, very similar. The company who sent this to me actually sent me a little bag of Haribos. I've deleted the footage of me unboxing this, unfortunately, but the bag of Haribos really makes this worth buying. If you can get the same bag of Haribos that I got, I believe I got Tanfastics, which are fantastic. This right here is a little micro SD card. It's just a little 2 GB one. I've only got one game on here because that's all you need to show it working. So I'll just plug it in. It's quite hard to do. You have to have at least 2 inches of nail to get that in there. Otherwise, you're going to have to use like a little prodding tool or something. But then it just slots in to here exactly as a regular cartridge would. I must note as well that in order to actually get the games loaded onto that, you need like a little either a micro SD card to SD card adapter, or you can get like a little USB like thing, which actually the company also sent me one of those as well. A little Tanfastics bag and a little micro SD to USB reader. And then you just like download the software off the website, and then you basically just download the ROMs. Very illegal, but we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, you turn it on exactly like you would with a regular Game Boy game. You then get this very strange kind of Windows like XP kind of loading screen. I don't know if you guys saw it there. Let me just do it again quickly. So yeah, it's kind of like a Windows XP. I must say the English translation on here, Chinglish, is pretty bad. We've got a couple of different menus here. None of them are labelled because they expect you to know what a lot of this is. I'm assuming that's a calendar. No, of course it's an item database. Very strange menu systems. There's save a manner and language setting. No, let's not change that. Oh god, go back. What's save a manner? Obliged saving auto savin. It's very confusing. A lot of it's like, I feel like it really didn't need to be on there. In fact, there's nothing so far that I've actually seen useful in these 3 menus. So then you get into this one. Again, I believe you can also change the loading kind of screens and everything, like the skin, if you will. I think this is like a default one, but I've got 2 games on here. In fact, no, I've only got 1 game on it. Oh, what's this one? No, can't open. Okay, I've only got 1 game on here, and that's Klonoa Empire of Dreams, which is actually my favourite GBA game. You'll then notice as well that it loads it. So basically, the micro SD card is basically like downloading the ROMs. So it loads the ROM onto. And now this is, I should just put a little disclaimer here. I don't know if this is going to be the full information for certain, but it loads the ROM onto like a more accessible memory. Whereas with this, it's already on that memory, so that's why it takes slightly longer to load. But just ignore that if it's complete rubbish. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. But yeah, press start. So yeah, I mean, essentially, you've got this fantastic micro SD card with a load of your games on it. You can get up to 32 gigabytes, I think, works on this. And then you can just play your games. If I can just get a bit of gameplay here. And there's no difference to playing it on here. You're playing exactly the same game that you'd be playing on this. You use the exact same ROMs. Everything's like set to the same button combination. So it's exactly like you're playing the original games. So here we go. Here's Klonoa. Absolutely amazing game. I actually first got it when I was on the WonderSwan. One of the games on the WonderSwan that you can actually play without having to know Japanese, because it's just such a fun little kind of puzzle game. Really, really fantastic game. If you guys haven't checked out Klonoa, then I strongly advise you do, because it's a cool game. So I guess we'll just talk about the pros and cons. So let's talk about the pros first, because I've got to be optimistic. I guess the pros are, you can carry around one cartridge, and that can have all your games on it. You know, that's a pretty appealing thing to me. You know, you can use a Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Micro. It's such a small form factor and have all your games library on there. In fact, I'm pretty certain on a 32GB micro SD card, you could probably have the entire Game Boy game library on it, which would be pretty amazing just to have it carried around this tiny little thing with a backlit screen. It'd be very nice to have. I don't think this has got any battery. Oh, it has. So that's one of the pros. I guess the other pro is the price. You know, you pay about £20 for these, and then you can play any game you want. Assuming you can just download the ROM, which there's lots of websites which have ROMs on them. That means, you know, a lot of these games are getting quite bloody expensive, especially after the whole Pokemon thing. You know, you can buy 2 Pokemon games for the price of this one cartridge and then play every single game ever released. So I guess that is a point as well. These things probably don't really hold their value as much as a Pokemon thing would. You know, these are modern reproduction. Not reproduction, but these are modern cartridges, so that they're not going to be worth anything, not anything anywhere near as much as a Pokemon game, obviously. But the point still stands. You can buy one of these cartridges and then play everything. If you're not into collecting games like I am, if you're just like a hardware collector, then obviously that's pretty ideal for you. That's why it was so appealing to me. The games files aren't very big, so you can fit them all on a relatively inexpensive micro SD card. Keep the price down, and happy days, you've got the games library that you want on a little cartridge. You can take it around anywhere and have everything. Let's get into the cons. So I did mention a couple of cons there as well. You know, you're not buying the original thing. So if you want like the nostalgia, I guess you might want the actual original cartridge. The other con as well is that there's a lot of controversy with people saying that this is like some sort of like illegal activity, and you're only allowed to do it if you actually own the game. So for example, I could download Super Mario World Advance 2, the ROM, and put it on there because, you know, I've already paid for the game. Nintendo get a bit upset because, you know, people are just downloading games and then they're not getting any money. But if you think about it, if you're buying a game off eBay, Nintendo aren't going to get any money either. So personally, I don't think it's a huge issue. A lot of people will probably disagree with me in the comments. I'm sorry. I'm just giving my opinion in this, you know. I just realised I think I've been playing like the same one level for like the last 20 minutes. But other than that, I think that's pretty much the only con. You know, you've got your entire games library on this. If you're against the idea of downloading ROMs, then, you know, you can just download the ROMs of only the games that you own, which means you can then just carry around this one thing, which if you lose it, you know, you're not going to be in a kind of a big issue. If you were to lose like your original Pokemon game, you might be quite upset. It saves, it does all of that, so it's really, really good. That is my full comprehensive review of the Easy Flash 4 or 5, whatever that number is there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comment section below. And yeah, are you against the idea of downloading ROMs, or are you pro or not pro Easy Flash? I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Thanks very much for watching this video, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.